Can Barcelona win without Lionel Messi? It was unveiled yesterday morning that Lionel Messi had elongated his left adductor, which means that he will be missing out in this game against Getafe, and it could be a possible doubt against Inter and maybe even against Sevilla. Many people thought that the problems of Barcelona would come to an end after Lionel Messi was reintroduced to the team, but he still did suffer that defeat against Granada 2-0. That doesn't count for me particularly because he didn't manage to play the full 90 minutes and he wasn't to his 100% best. So the question for me still prevails: is Barcelona capable of winning without Lionel Messi? That is a question Barcelona need to answer in this game against Getafe, and I'll be giving you my thoughts about it in this video.
Before starting off, I want to thank our friends at Golazo Jersey, the #1 place for you to get cheap, accessible replica kits of your favorite footballing teams. They offer worldwide coverage as well as constant customer support, so rest assured that an order placed with them is an order for a very good product. You can check out their products right now at golazojersey.com.
So right from the get-go, to try and clarify this question, we do not mean and we do not seek for Barcelona to be getting results without Lionel Messi, because we already know that is capable. Barcelona have been beating teams without Messi on the side, like the 5-3 victory recently against Real Betis, or for instance last year beating Real Madrid at the Camp Nou 5-1. Barcelona are capable of doing things like this. Barcelona is capable of getting those results. But what I want, and what you want, what everyone wants that watches Barcelona, is that they need to have a consistent performance basis, a constant stream of chances being created in every single game. I feel that Barcelona, that's the part that we've been struggling this season. A moment that without Lionel Messi, we don't seem to have another player that can give us that magic to create something. And in reality, we say magic just because we are living to the standards of a incredible, iconic player for years to come in Lionel Messi, but teams with not necessarily a player like that can still do a lot of more harm. It's not magic, it's simple football. Chances are there to be created. That's the whole purpose of the game. We do not need to be looking for Lionel Messi, but for the time being, it seems that we do. In reality, it's really easy for me to go ahead and blame the players, such as Antoine Griezmann, Ousmane Dembélé, players whose role may be to create chances as well, not only by scoring the goals or assisting, also by creating. But in reality, that's not the direction I want to take this video on, because I want to talk about a system that has been put in place in this team that makes Barcelona look further and further away as the games go by than their true self, the true DNA that we have within our body, and that is Ernesto Valverde. Ernesto Valverde, the way that we have been playing before. And of course, I do credit that right now he's showing signs of wanting to improve. He knows that his position is no longer a 100% guarantee that he's gonna stay. He knows that he needs these results because we are way far down the table, especially as we've been in the previous seasons. So he is trying to improve, putting the right formations, trying to put the right players, but for some reason it's not working. And it's very, very worrying that this is going on, because this is a problem that we're suffering now, not because we're doing something wrong in this current moment, not because we're doing something wrong in October the 27th of 2019. No, this is because we're doing something wrong years past. This is because we're doing something wrong since he came into the club. The way that he's playing and he has managed his way in the coaching sessions, he's just been really, really uninspiring, not strict enough, and he's always been lenient towards the player. You call this way of management laissez-faire, and of course, pardon my French, but that is exactly what Ernesto Valverde is doing. He's just being very, very acceptable of everything the players do. If Rakitic doesn't put a good game, he was not going to get benched. If Suarez plays badly, he just knows and tells him, don't worry, you're gonna get them next time. You know, that sort of mentality has not been good enough for Barcelona. We needed a manager that if Suarez plays bad, he goes like, well, you lost your opportunity, now go to the bench, wear me down, and we're gonna see what Ansu Fati is made of. That's the sort of management that we need now, and that is why we, right now, yes, we do depend on Lionel Messi, because he's the only player that at this stage of his career, he can fix something like this at 100%. And we're seeing that sometimes it might not even be enough. So yes, Lionel Messi needs to step up. Griezmann needs to step up. All of the players have to step up, not because of their own problems, but because of the manager that they've been put under. If Valverde could play football, I would put him there on the spot. But unfortunately, he can't. We have to rely on the 11 players every single week that play on that football pitch. So right now, those are the ones that unfortunately need to take us out of this situation. I know that they can do it as well. And as soon as we can see Valverde having that mano dura, taking those harsh decisions, we'll be able to win without Lionel Messi. So with that little mini rant out of the way, and literally I'm out of breath, we have to start talking about this game against Getafe. A game in which Barcelona, I believe with everything into account, Barcelona will have to grind out a result, because for the very same manner, Getafe is that sort of team. Getafe is a team that they're gonna give zero space to Barcelona, and of course they've been doing worse than last season. Last season might have been an anomaly for them, but Buga, in reality, Barcelona have the players to beat Getafe, right? And I'll answer you, yes, we have the players to beat Getafe 99 times out of 100, but in this sort of time, I think we're the one of 100. I think that Barcelona will need to try and revert their horrible away form, and if you ask me, there was no worse opponent than Getafe at this current moment. With that being said, we've been talking about Barcelona for, I think, already the better half of 6 minutes, so we have to mention our opponents in this one. I'm gonna start off with them. Getafe are unbeaten in their last 6 competitive games, bouncing back effectively from an opening loss to Atletico Madrid. And those games were 3 consecutive 1-1 draws against Atletico Bilbao, Deportivo Alavés, and Real Betis. Then a win in the Europa League against Trabzonspor, then another win against Mallorca 4-2, and then a draw 3-3 against Valencia. If you ask me, this series of results really highlight the dodginess and inability of Los Azulones of Getafe to drag out the games, to close them down. They have been leading in most of the games and they haven't been able to have a proper game plan to see out those 90 minutes. This is a problem that happened to, I want to say, Atletico Madrid with El Cholo Simeone 2 years ago. In that season where they got knocked out in the group stages of the Champions League, a season where Atletico Madrid were good, they could score the 1 and 2 goals here, but when it came to closing those games down, they just didn't have the defensive liability they've always had. It's just something that sometimes this cannot be your year in that sense. If one of the defenders is off in a way, if the other is, I don't know, a little bit despistado or clueless about what he needs to do in that movement, it's just something that goes wrong. So I think that the side of Jose Bordelas might find problems in that sense, might find problems to see Barcelona out. And that's why I think, although it's a very difficult opponent, Barcelona can have a chance here if we show them the same respect that they are gonna show us. The reason why I say this is because Barcelona haven't been able to keep a clean sheet. Barcelona have been conceding in every single game of La Liga this season so far, and that is not good enough. It might be because of the bad transition that always happens when we turn into defense. Sergio Busquets doesn't normally have the legs to be fast enough in the action of closing attacks down. I think the Barcelona really need to look at their midfield. And with this, I want to mention that it's not good that Ernesto Valverde is not trusting on a normal midfield 3. Valverde has always been changing it up. We've only repeated the same midfield twice, and that was between the games of Valencia and the game against Borussia Dortmund. That is not good enough. Barcelona do not know what their midfield is, and hopefully on this game we can finally get an answer. If not, I'm gonna be having to produce another video about how to fix this Barcelona midfield, because right now it's disastrous. With all of that being said, here's going to be my predicted 11 for the following game against Getafe. I'm going to start with the German Marc-André Ter Stegen in the goalkeeper position. I'm going to go with Nelson Semedo through the right, Piqué, Lenglet, and Junior Firpo. Junior Firpo, who is currently improving. He put last time around a decent game against Villarreal, so I expect him to continue upon that and really give an excellence of his skills in this one. The midfield 3, I'm going to go with the best midfield I've seen so far, and that is De Jong, Busquets, and Arthur. A midfield that allowed someone like the Johan Arthur to cover for that ground that Busquets won't normally do when we are back in transition. And then in front three, I'm gonna go with Antoine Griezmann through the middle, Ousmane Dembélé through the left, and Carles Perez through the right. This is going to be my front three, and yes, I am benching Ansu Fati and Luis Suarez. A Luis Suarez, which we already know all the reasons for it, but if you are still not too sure why am I benching Luis Suarez, then go and check out my video right now on the channel that I made about exactly this matter. And in the case of Ansu Fati, I just think that all the times that he's coming off the bench, he is showing something. And I do not want to break that streak from him. The reason why he's being so good is because he has that mentality of, okay, the coach is trusting me to fix this game, and there is no pressure whatsoever in that sense. When he starts the game, there is pressure from minute one. The pressure is there that he's not part of the team, so he has to help them win this game in that circumstance. And I don't feel that's good enough. I feel that it's good for us to be treating Ansu Fati like an isolated part of the team. In other words, the best way to explain this is that I do not want to put the problems that we have on our team on his back. Because he is not a savior, anything. He's just a kid playing really good. Let's keep him at that for now, and that's how he will develop. We don't have to put all the unnecessary pressure on his back. So remember that. And remember that, Ernestito Valverde. Remember it, please, por favor. So with all of that being said, guys, this is going to be my prediction. I think that Barcelona is going to win 2-1. I believe that Barcelona are going to be facing a similar scenario that Getafe has been finding himself in every single game, a 1-1 draw until one stage, and I am giving the chance for Ansu Fati here to score that winning goal and get us home with 3 points. I think that is how it's going to go. I think that Barcelona will have a difficult time and we are going to need to try and break them down. So yes, a 1-1 draw, and then Ansu Fati out of nowhere comes in, scores a goal, we all happy, we go back, and then we start thinking about the game against Inter. Now I want to know your predictions in the comment box down below. I've been reading a lot of your comments thus far. I've not been commenting on all of them. I just feel that it's a little bit rude to comment on some, but not comment on all of them. I feel that if I comment on one, I have this like unnecessary pressure to answer to all of your comments as well. So I don't know. I'll see how it goes, but rest assured I am reading them. See you in the next one. Take care. Ciao.